Are you looking to move to Prosper, Texas? Do you need more info? How about we go through a pros and cons list of living in Prosper, Texas and why you're losing money by not living here? Let's go.
Let's do it.
What's up, guys? Jono and Tommy here with the Selling North Dallas Real Estate team. My phone is literally blowing up with people just like you wanting to move to North Dallas. They want some help, and we're here to help.
Give us a call, shoot us a text, and we'll help you out.
That's right. So today, we're going to be breaking down a pros and cons list of living in Prosper, Texas. Now, the median home price, which we'll get into here in just a minute, is just over $800,000. So if you click the top left-hand corner, it's going to be this side over here, stage left. It's right up here. We got 5 reasons here. We're going to be counting down the 5 major.
It's hard to come up with major cons in Prosper, honestly. Like
we did what we could. Yeah. So the number 5 in our countdown to number 1, the freaking drivers.
The drivers.
You just cut me off.
Well, people are amazing, but drivers are the worst. In fact, I was going through town the other day. This guy cuts me off, so we're flipping each other off, you know, as you do. And we decide we're going to pull over and just handle this like a couple of men. And it's our pastor.
Please forgive me.
People are bozos, and one of the cool things about Prosper is most people are not from here. They've transplanted from somewhere else. You know, God loves all his children, and we're working on people. So if you move here and you suck at driving, you're going to be on the cons list.
Yeah. Eventually, we hope you figure it out, though.
Yeah, we're here
because we want you to stay.
Exactly. The number 4 reason that we've got on our countdown is...
It's your favorite restaurant.
It's on the list. Don't tell my trainer. Freaking Whataburger. Now, if you're not from Texas or you don't know what Whataburger is, you're about to have the holy...
Well, yeah, and before you finish that sentence, let's be clear. We love Whataburger. It's not about Whataburger.
No, Whataburger is amazing.
Whataburger is amazing. It's that everybody loves Whataburger.
And they always want to go...
whenever you want to be.
When I want to go. So if you could just not go to Whataburger when I want to be there, then
it's just
Whataburger. We'll take you off the list.
We promise.
We promise.
Yeah.
Can I cut in line again?
All right, should we go on to number 3?
I think we should definitely go into number 3 because that's typically after number 4 on the countdown list. The number 3 downside to living in Prosper is there is no Chipotle.
We want Chipotle.
And I don't know if you can tell, but we like to eat. And Whataburger is one of those places, and Chipotle is another one of those places. And I'm not sure why the powers that be have not chosen to bring Chipotle to Prosper.
You know, there's a reason. It just wasn't shared with me. So we were supposed to get one at the gates of Prosper, and then they pulled out for some reason.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to the bottom of this and report back to you. All right. Number 2.
Yeah, I think this is the bane of everybody's existence here in this North Dallas area. If you are from this area, you know exactly what this feels like to drive on Highway 380.
Traffic.
You're almost not even driving. Is it really traffic if you're just sitting there in your car?
Parking on 380 should be the number 2 reason.
That should actually be a pro because there's usually a parking spot.
Yeah.
I mean, you can usually find yourself on 380 parked.
Now, let's be clear. We're talking about Highway 380, really west of Legacy, headed towards Denton.
Yeah.
Or east of
Custer
headed towards McKinney. Okay, number 1 con, I would say.
Number 1 con.
For Prosper, Texas has to be the cost of living. The median home price in America right now is $392,000 all across the country. The median home price in Prosper in the last 90 days, as of the recording of this video, $804,000. It's expensive to live here. Yeah. There's just no getting around that.
Yeah. That's expensive.
There you have it. All right, now before we get into the pros, we want to connect with you. Like I said, click the link in the description, fill out the Google form, let us know how we can get in contact with you, and we'll see what we can do to help you out in your quest for information on coming to North Dallas.
Yeah, and if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe and hit the little bell so you can get the notifications whenever these hot new videos, these videos are hot.
They're hot.
They are smoking hot. And you want to be the first to know when they come out.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Now, to reward you for clicking the like button, here is arguably the greatest dad joke of all time. So, apparently, a slice of apple pie in Jamaica right now is $2.50, while the same slice of pie in the Bahamas is $3. Now, you don't have to like it, you don't have to agree with it, but the facts are these are the pie rates of the Caribbean.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Really,
it really
doesn't get any better.
That's an amazing joke.
So, should we get into the pros?
We definitely should. That's what the people are here for.
Exactly. All right. So, counting down, number 5, the people.
The people.
The people are awesome.
So one of the things that I love about here, about Prosper, is the people and their manners, right? They're just kind, they're kind-hearted. You're driving through your neighborhood, you pull out of your neighborhood, you go to wave and they flag you down and they're asking you about your day and they're talking to you about your kids, you know, band and your kids' sports and your kids' art fest and your kids this, like, are you going to this festival this weekend? Like, they're just so kind. Hey man, let me help you out here. Let me help you out there. It really is encouraging, honestly.
Yeah, you're going to get stuck at the mailbox talking to Mike. Mike, if you're watching, love you, man.
Love you guys.
We're constantly running into these guys, and it's just cool being a part of a small enough town where you run into people that you not only know, but you like them.
Yeah, they know your name. They wave hi. It's not that weird, like, oh my gosh, it's Jono coming into the restaurant, act like you don't know him kind of thing.
I mean, there's probably some of that too, but...
Yeah, but you don't notice it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the point.
All right, number 4 reason is the food. Now, like we said, there's no Chipotle, but I went through and counted. If you went to dinner at a different restaurant every night of the month, you would run out of days before you ran out of places to eat.
That's a lot of food.
And it's still a small town, but there's just a ton of places to eat and it's good stuff.
Well, I was gonna say, you probably won't be disappointed at any one place.
Yeah.
For any one reason. And every place has its own unique flair. Every place has its own unique menu, unique drinks, unique appetizers, unique atmosphere. There's something different. If you want, you know, low key, you've got a place for that. If you want high energy, lots of people, friends, there's places for that. If you want a great date night spot, if you want a great grab and go spot, if you want to grab a good pizza, grab a good drink, there's lots of places. So many different varieties.
Like I said, the food, so good.
Yeah.
Such a...
Oh, the food was excellent.
Let's get to the number 3 reason.
Yeah, let's do it. So the number 3 reason to move to Prosper is the opportunity. So much opportunity.
So much. Everywhere you look.
Everywhere you look, it's opportunity all over the place.
So, national numbers. The median household income in 2021, $79,900.
That's right at 80 grand.
Let's just call it 80 grand.
80 grand. The median household income for America in 2021 was 80 grand.
There you go. Prosper, Texas, 178,000.
That's a big difference.
So I think it was my man 50 that said, "Mo money, mo growth." It was something like that. Anyway, with money comes great
With great money comes great responsibility.
Right now, Prosper is growing at a growth rate of 6.43% annually. And it's expected to almost triple in the next 20 to 25 years.
And it's tripled in the last 10, it feels like.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's great. I love
it. Well, the good news about that is that when national or even global companies see growth in a particular area, they want to move their offices to that place. And so when they see places like Prosper and other parts of North Dallas growing like this, they think people are moving there, so we need to move there as well. And that means more jobs, that means more opportunities, that means more income, all the amazing things that go along with growth.
Yeah, it's awesome. So the number 2 reason on our countdown, the schools.
Yeah.
And there's so much that goes along with that. I mean, right now, football season is in full swing. You've got the Prosper Eagles, you got the Rock Hill Blue Hawks. And even if your kid doesn't play football, it's like a thing to grab your buddies and go to the games and go and watch it. Even if you're not into football, everybody in town is at the football game. So it's a great spot to hang out, run into people, great business networking. I mean, a lot of deals are done in these football stadiums, even on the away games. With it being the Metroplex, oftentimes you might be traveling 30, 40 minutes to some of these games, and there's still a large contingency of folks that will go out. Band competitions, lacrosse, soccer, I mean, you name it, the arts, the plays, and all the things that go along with the schools.
Well, I think it's important to note that when you talk about schools, you're not only talking about the extracurricular parts of schools, but the quality of schools, right? For those of you out there that have families, or maybe you know of families, or you're thinking about starting a family at some point in time, and you're thinking, I want to get into a good place where I know my kid's going to get a good education. People take pride in their kids going to these schools here in Prosper. They want their kids to be in Prosper ISD, and for a good reason, because they get a good education, they have a great experience, they make friends, they get to be a part of a ton of different extracurricular activities, not just sports related, but as you said, arts. And so it's a great experience. And so that's another big reason why people are moving to Prosper. So Jono, you being the real estate expert among the two of us,
What?
I think you need to talk about this #1 pro for moving to Prosper.
The #1 pro has got to be real estate. So again, let's look at some numbers. We ran some data on the multiple listing service, and we went back 3 years ago. 2019, the median home price was $487,000. At the time, median year build was 2019. So these were brand new homes.
Brand new homes.
So going back 90 days from now, the median sold price was $803,000. And the median age was 2016.
That's a big jump, but why is that? Why does that make a difference when you're thinking about, do I move to Prosper? And you're thinking, man, if I'm going to get an older home, what does that mean though? What does that tell us?
Well, one thing that it tells me is people are not moving here because they can get a brand new home. Like you can go to other parts of the Metroplex and get a newer home for, I would say a bigger home. Well, why are people not doing that? I believe it's because of all the things that we mentioned, the schools, the community, just the overall atmosphere, the folks that live here, the affluent clientele that choose to live in Prosper. I think I mentioned this. Most people are not from here. Most people that live in Prosper today are not from Prosper. They are choosing to move here. There's this intentionality about, if I'm going to move to Dallas, what are my options? And at the end of the road, they choose to come here. We chose to come here when in 2009, when Katie got a job, she interviewed at multiple schools, and the greatest opportunity we felt like was in Prosper. So we chose to move here, and you see that theme as you get to know your neighbors.
Yeah, I think there's just a pride of living in Prosper and saying, this is where I live, this is where my kids are going to grow up, this is where I built my business, this is where I found my opportunity, this is where I made my, built my community and built my lifelong friends. I mean, people are choosing Prosper for a reason, and it's not just the homes.
That's right. All right, so on top of that, you've got all the growth.
The tollway
punching through, right? Everywhere you look is under construction from a commercial perspective, and you know what's going to follow that commercial growth, residential.
So at the beginning of this, we told you that you're losing money by not moving to Prosper, right?
Surely you have some math to back that up.
Surely you would think. And listen, I'm no math expert, but like we said, we ran some numbers. So what we discovered is if the median income in America is $80,000 and the median income in Prosper is $178,000, that's an increase, and I know this only because I used Google, 122.5% increase, right? If the average home sold in America is $392,000, median sold home value is $803 in Prosper, that's only an increase of 104%. So you're actually losing 17.5% income by not moving to Prosper. So by moving here, if the opportunity is the same for you, whether you're anywhere else in America or here, and you can earn more money here in Prosper, then you're not breaking the bank. You're actually saving money by buying a house here in Prosper.
And that's just math.
I mean,
basically, if you can afford to live here, you want to get here as quick as you can and make the most out of the growth opportunity and the appreciation that's coming.
If somebody is like, oh man, you sold me on Prosper, but what does the town look like?
I'm going to show you right now. Let's go for a ride. So this video is brought to you by the unofficial beverage of summertime in Texas, an ice cold Diet Dr. Pepper.
Sounds refreshing.
Man, if you don't drink Diet Dr. Pepper, you ain't no kind of man. That's okay. Success is not for everyone. Damn! Hey, how about I show you some of my favorite spots in my favorite city on the planet, Prosper, Texas. I'll show you some of the typical stuff, where the high schools are, show you where to get the best margarita.
I like that.
Where you're gonna do your grocery shopping, and you're gonna wanna stick around for Sexy 11. So this is Coleman. This takes you from the gates of Prosper. You got some retail up here on the left, and the best donuts you've ever put in your mouth.
That's a bold statement.
As a donut connoisseur, you have not had a donut until you've had a Donut Man donut. There's Donut Man. There's a Rob Zombie song, I don't know the name of it, but it goes, devil man running, devil man, devil in my head, yeah. I don't know if that's the words, but that's kind of how the tune goes. As our daughter's growing up, I would sing that same Rob Zombie tune, only I would replace it with Donut Man, running, Donut Man, donut in my hand. Well, Natalie, being a wee tyke, couldn't remember the jingle, so she would sing Donut Man, donut in my hand. Donut Man, if I wasn't back on my program, I would take you right now to get a Donut Man donut and it would change your life.
I'm on a diet.
So here we are, Preston Road and Broadway. Broadway is the street in Prosper that takes you into downtown up and over that hill. The chiropractor is going in that office right over there. Shout out to Jersey and Dr. Ashley over at Ashley Chiropractic. But there it is, Whisk. Just to the east of Preston. This place is it's my jam. There's always seating. I've never had to wait. The food is really good. I mean, it's breakfast. It's hard to screw up breakfast.
Hard to screw up. We both like to eat.
Ernesto's used to be the jam. Everybody switched over to salsas. To me, the food just tastes better at salsas. When it's fresh, I do like the salsa at Ernesto's. You can usually tell a good Mexican food restaurant by the quality of the salsa. Ernesto's does have good salsa, but they're kind of slipping on the service, on the cleanliness department, in my opinion. I love their food, but if I have an opportunity, of course, I'm actually headed to a lunch appointment now, and we're meeting at Salsa's. So take that with a grain of salt. If you like a pizza, this Patios pizza is pretty good. It's a chain. If you're feeling like pizza, but you want a little something different, Patios is a good spot to check out. All right, there she is, downtown Prosper with the silos in the background. So I told you my go-to breakfast spot was Whisk. Probably not completely true. It's either Whisk or the Gin. Now this confuses a lot of people because it says Cotton Gin Cafe on the corner. The sign actually says The Gin, but this is downtown Prosper. Retail is still being developed, kind of light right now. A few businesses going in. Prosper Wine House coming in right there. There's the new courthouse in the background. And then Silo Park is another cool little night spot. They'll have food trucks out here. There's a bar in that building. Lots of room for the tykes to run and dig. Man, they water that dirt every day. It still doesn't get any bigger. Here's the backside of Silo Park. That's where the food trucks enter and exit. Dude, these hats are great.
We're downtown Prosper at a place called Inappropriate Trucker Hats.
And what do they do at Inappropriate Trucker Hats?
I believe that they make inappropriate trucker hats, but I could be mistaken about that.
So what do you mean by that?
Well, inappropriate is a compound word that is the opposite of appropriate. So, for example, a hat that you would wear in front of your grandmother would be considered appropriate. And so a hat that you would not want to wear in front of your grandmother, I guess depending on who your grandmother is, would be inappropriate.
Tell me your name.
My name is Tommy Smith.
AKA
Thomas Aurelius.
Thomas Aurelius.
Is that what you wanted me to say? Okay, yeah.
What's the deal tonight? What are we doing?
We're gonna head down to the gin and get some gin probably, or another kind of drink.
Some kind of beverage.
Some kind of sweet, tasty libation. So this says Cotton Gin Cafe. Don't call it Cotton Gin Cafe. It's called the Gin.
Downtown Prosper. We got the silos in the background. See those here in a little bit. This is a great little spot. We're gonna go inside the gin and let you know what it's like to be a Prosperitarian.
Prosperous human.
Prosperous human. Here we go. All right, kids. There she is, Rock Hill High School. Looks like a college campus. So right off of Coit, just south of Highway 380. This is another thing I really love about Prosper. It's so easy to get in and out of. 4-lane road, 2 lanes north, 2 lanes south. Custer is 6 lanes up until you get to 380, and then it's down to actually 2, but they're in the process of expanding that. You got Preston that's 6 lanes. You got the Dallas North Tollway that's extending through there. Going north and south through Prosper, super easy. All right, now east and west through Prosper on Highway 380, also 6 lanes. Now it's also 11:15. There's nobody on the road right now. But even this stretch of road from, I would say, Custer to the tollway is pretty easy. So this is how you get to the high school. There's the neighborhood Lakes of Prosper, which we've talked a lot about. This is PHS, Prosper High School. Looking fabulous. College campus-y. Go class of 2023. The practice field at PHS, of course, turf, which is pretty typical here in North Dallas. Oh, here she is, my home away from home. Definitely the best margaritas I've ever had. And then they just put this turf area in over here, which makes it really nice. The folks will hang out on the patio. The kiddos will play out here in this turf area. Kind of nice. Why are we at Salsa's?
I mean, for their margaritas.
Is this the
Why
best
else?
margarita you've ever had?
Well, in America, yes.
In America. As we say in America, Buena Vida.
Buena vida.
You can't have a place like Salsa's without 3 different salsas. So you got the beans, or frijoles, you got the red sauce,
Salsa rojo.
salsa rojo,
I speak Spanish, y'all. Whatever this is.
salsa verde.
Oh, this is the green stuff.
Yeah. All right, in terms of grocery shopping, you have really 4 options. 2 Walmarts and 2 Krogers. This is the Kroger closest to the house. This is Deion Sanders' old front yard. Little fun fact. This is usually where I get gas. Right now it's at $3.49. I have a little easier time getting around Kroger than I do Walmart, but some things, you know, I mean, it's just hard to beat Walmart on price. You know that. Dr. Pepper is the official drink, official, unofficial. The official, unofficial food has got to be Bluebell ice cream, specifically 2 for $6 Rocky Road. So we got dinner. You do not need to go to a fancy steakhouse. All you need, flowers, $6. Choice strip steaks, 3 of them for $40. And if you're in deep trouble, fellas, all you need is a bottle of this. A Duckhorn Cabernet, so good. You know, it's so interesting to me when people say, oh, real estate's crashing in North Dallas, in North Texas. The real estate bubble has burst. And everywhere you look in my town is under construction. They can't build homes fast enough. When you look around everywhere and you see construction and increasing rent prices and growth in terms of population, you do not have a housing bubble. I'm gonna upset some folks with that. And if I've upset you, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Sorry / not sorry.
Sometimes you need to hear what you don't think you want to hear. All right, Boulder, are they ready to see it? Ready for Sexy 11? You might be asking yourself, what is he talking about? Sexy 11. This is the dopest 7-Eleven on the planet. I say dopest, I mean dopest. So you got Laredo Taco Company. These are amazing tacos. Look how clean this place is. Every kind of drink, every kind of beer. Got the craft beer section. Just in case some of our viewers are under 21, we won't go in there. But I will walk you down the wine aisle. What a wine selection at 7-Eleven. So this is what I'm talking about. So we call it Sexy 11 because it's crazy. But these fellas just yelled at me. Y'all, what company y'all with?
Urban X.
And what do y'all do?
Control.
Pest control. Do we have pests in North Dallas?
Oh man, so much. I want to give a shout out to my state, Texas.
Oh boy.
They coming together. I mean, it was kind of crowded. It's still kind of crowded, but it's coming together. They building a lot of new stuff out here. Y'all should come out here and check out the sites. Check out everything we have to offer. Laredo Tacos, they got some good tacos. They got good margaritas. This 7-Eleven right here is actually fancy. I want to shout out to the whole Dallas area because we coming along. Hey, come out here and come give us a visit.
I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
All right, so who's your favorite real estate company?
Selling North Dallas.
All right, how about you, boss? You're from Irving?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything you want to throw up?
No, I mean, I'll just double down on what he said. It's a great state, and y'all more than welcome to come out here. I mean, y'all gonna love it out here. So.
Well, fellas, I appreciate y'all hollering at me.
Absolutely.
Y'all be
You have a great one.
Stay cool. We're going to come back to that in just a minute when that sun is ready to go night-night. But before we put the son to bed, let's get some dinner at my second favorite Mexican restaurant. Glorious. That's not actually the best part about living in Prosper. The best part is the sunsets. You go for a ride? You go see the sunset? Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. What I feel like is really missing is you need to know more about some of these smaller towns. So the 5 things that you need to know about Prosper, Texas before you live here or move here. Now, I've lived in Prosper since 2009. We rented an apartment for the first 2 years, and then we decided, you know what, we're going to plant our flag here. We're so glad that we did. We bought this home in September of 2011. And if you don't know much about the real estate market in Dallas, North Dallas, 2011 was a great time to buy, and we just rode that appreciation up. But after living here for 11 years, you learn a thing or two about what life is like. So here we go. Number 5, participate. Now, in an attempt to make this fun, I've gone about labeling these the 5 P's of Prosper, or P-Town, if you're nasty. So the first P, or the number 5 P that you need to be aware of, is participate. And if you're going to move here and you're going to get the most out of living here, you're going to want to plug in. You're going to want to participate. For example, football game. Friday nights in the fall, man, football is where it's at. Now, our kid plays in the band, and the band is arguably just as exciting as football. It is a college-level experience in this teeny tiny town. Games, school functions, parades, community and neighborhood events. The neighborhood that I live in, a couple of weeks ago, had a parade just for our neighborhood. There was a handful of pickups and banners and kids walking alongside and bicycles. Just something fun that the community decided in our neighborhood, not Prosper, just in our little tiny neighborhood. They wanted to have a community parade. Plug into that stuff. Let's see what else. Supporting local businesses, right? There's a tone and a rhythm to this small town. So if you have the opportunity to support local business, it's highly encouraged. You can buy soap at Walmart. You can go to Kroger and buy soap. Why not go to Buff City Soap and buy soap? Right here in Prosper, there's one up in Salina. You know what I mean? Look for opportunities to support these entrepreneurs that are your friends, family, and neighbors. Maybe they're not your family. It doesn't matter. Spend money locally where possible. Number 4, patience. Because we're further away from Dallas, we're about 33 miles to the north of downtown Dallas. It is a slower pace here relative to being in Dallas. So there's some things that go along with that. If you're gonna move here, you probably need to just plan an extra 15 minutes if you're getting from point A to point B, because you're going to get out on the road and there's going to be a gaggle of cyclists. Now, there's a really strong cycling community here in North Texas, not just Prosper, but in North Texas as a whole. And sometimes that really irritates people, which for the life of me, I can't understand why, because you chose to move to this small town where there's only a 2-lane road and one of the lanes has got 50 bicyclists or cyclists. I don't know what you people call yourselves. I don't mean you people. Doesn't matter. There's 50 cyclists in the lane, and now you're stuck going 20 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour, whatever the deal is. It's fine. You chose to either live in or drive through a small town. Don't zoom around these guys and honk at them and flip them off. Like, I see this stuff happens, and it just burns me up. Take time, be courteous, be nice to your friends. They're on bicycles. There's a large contingency of motorcyclists here. Share the road, look out for the other guy. Nobody's trying to slow you down, but you may need to plan your route. If you know there's a certain path that these guys come through on Saturday mornings, you might want to pick a different way out of the neighborhood. So just be nice. Don't be an watch out for cyclists. There's a slower pace here, so allow for that. If you want a faster pace, then you probably need to live in Dallas. Or you need to make sure whatever path you're taking in and around is at least 4 lanes and not knocked down to 2. You'll save yourself and myself and all of our people a lot of heartache. Just don't be an Here we go. Number 3, perk. Have you ever known or been around a really big dog that thought he was a lap dog. That's kind of Prosper. It is a big city, but has this small town feel and undercurrent. It's you kind of have the best of both worlds. I think it's the happy medium between the hustle and bustle of the city or being out in the back 40 in the middle of nowhere. There's a heart and a soul this community has, and the sports and events and just the pace, there's almost a sense of pride. When you come here, you're going to see cars everywhere with these P's on the back glass. There's a sense of pride that goes into living in Prosper. So just embrace it, right? You got easy access to everything. Shopping, travel, activities. There's always something going on. So if you're bored, it's probably because you choose to be bored. And if you need a couple of days to shut yourself in and recharge the batteries, do that. But there's so much stuff going on. Like, for example, we're probably 3 miles from downtown. At night, on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, I can go out in my backyard. I can hear the live music playing at the Gin and Silo Park, right? If you're going to get butthurt about that, then you probably need to be further away from downtown so that you don't hear Living on a Prayer blaring at 10 o'clock at night. Just something to consider. People out here look for a reason to gather, so just embrace that. And if that's not really your cup of tea, then you should probably know that before moving out here. Okay, number 2, patios. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I love to eat, and I wouldn't say I love to drink. I do love Jesus, but I drink and cuss a little. If you've been on the channel for any length of time, you have witnessed that, right? It's not to be offensive, it's just who I am, and I love a good patio. Food and beverage in Prosper, Texas is on point. Do the kids still say on point? Is it on fleek? It's on fleek and point. There are points and fleeks abound as it relates to food and beverage. Some of my favorite patios, salsas, for reasons we've talked about on the channel, right? Great, massive patio, lots of buzz going on, both inside and outside, but especially the patio. You got the play area for the kids, or you can be in downtown at the Gin, Silo Park. Food, my new favorite pizza joint is Kill a Pie, right down here in the gates of Prosper. Detroit style pizza. Is it Detroit or Detroit? It's amazing. I don't even know how to describe it, but David has done a great job with that restaurant, and it's delicious. If you like thin crust, nope. If you like thick crust, you need to go check out Kill a Pie. It's delicious. You got Gloria's right next door, right? Arguably my favorite steak right now, the Nancy's ribeye. Oh, my mouth's watering just thinking about it. It's got this olive oil pesto sauce. You kind of dribble on it, and it sits on a bed of green beans and onions. So good. Anyway, food and drink abound. Look for reasons to gather. Go meet your neighbor. You don't know your neighbor, just go to a patio somewhere. You're going to make friends. I guarantee it. All right, are you ready for the number 1 reason? People. As we've mentioned, you want to participate in this town spirit if you want to get the most out of living and working here in Prosper. I think we've already talked about this, but in case we haven't, Friday nights in the fall, the football games are amazing. And even if, you know what, stay for the whole game, because you know what people do? They kind of congregate afterwards and meander through the breezeways. They're going to end up on a patio somewhere afterwards. Like, there's so much fun stuff going on. The weather is perfect. It's cool enough that you need a light jacket, but you don't freeze your tail off. It's amazing. The band, the Prosper Mighty Eagle Band is a treat. Now, I wouldn't say that I am a band person in terms of the style of music, but the visual effects, the music, it is quite a production, and it's an easy way to meet other parents or other people in the community that are just like you, that just want to hang out and have something to do that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, right? The high school and middle school sports are an easy avenue to explore those. You know, not to overbeat the sports drum, but our daughter participated in girls lacrosse. Now, one of the unforeseen benefits of a sport like girls lacrosse is there maybe 10% of the sidelines knows what the hell is going on, right? So you've got a bunch of parents that are just excited to be out there cheering on their kiddos And it's a blast. We made more friends just sitting on the sidelines cheering our daughter on playing girls lacrosse. And I don't know shit about girls lacrosse. You don't have to, and that's part of the benefit. Now you go to a football game, everybody in the stands knows about football and everybody knows what play should have been called. But some of these sports that aren't quite as mainstream, like lacrosse, there's less of that, and it seems to be more centered around fun. The basketball games, oh my gosh. Now, I'm more of a football guy, but high school basketball is pretty tough to beat. Even though Texas is more known for its football, it's a blast. So get out, meet your folks. I think you hear a theme here. Look for reasons to plug in and participate in this great town, and you're going to love it. Until next time, have a great weekend. We'll see you later.